Hey guys, Dan Spencer of ProToolsTutorials.org, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite features in Pro Tools. It's called Elastic Audio, and today we're just going to talk about it geared towards the drums, and I'm going to use a snare drum as an example. Now, Elastic Audio can really mess up your song. However, the nice thing about it, it is non-destructive. It can always be undone, and that's one really great feature about it. So here's my snare track here that I have open pretty big. It's this green track here. And what you want to do first is go over to this little, I don't know how you describe it. It looks like a funnel. Let's click on that. And then you can see you have these options here. These are your Elastic Audio options. Now for drums, you want to go to rhythmic. Hence drums are a rhythm instrument. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, and it will light up green when it's working here, as you can see. And then click on waveform. Okay, and then go down to warp. Okay, so when you're in this mode, you can see it gives you your transients here, okay, for, every little thing. Okay, obviously these big giant ones are your actual snare hits, and then these little ones here, any bleed through that you may have in the drum kit, like your kick drum, your toms, whatever. And so what you want to do next is kind of figure out where your drums need to be hitting. Normally, if you have a good drummer, they're going to be pretty close to the beat. If you have a bad drummer, it can be anywhere. So I think I would say the first thing to do is make sure you have your grid set up properly. I usually like to work in most songs in a eighth grid. There's sometimes you might want to work in a 16th grid, but most times you'll be working in an eighth grid. And to go up there, we go up to grid here and just make sure that, I have 16 right now. Click on 8. And then, remember this turns the grid on and off if you click on that. Okay, so we have our grid on here. And these are my snare hits here. And basically, you want to make sure that they're lined up with these lines here. You could see them above them, more so on the kick track. Let me open that up a little bit bigger there. Okay, so you can see the actual bars here in the kick track. Okay, so what I want to do is, as I can see, these two are pretty close on. If I just highlight them, and then I click Option numeric 3 on a Mac or Alt numeric 3 on a PC, okay, it gives me the Quantize window, as I like to call it. It's actually called the Event Operations window. Okay, so we decided we're going to be working in 1/8 right now, the 8th grid. So this is set for 16th. Let's change that to 8th. Okay, so that matches up. Now it matches up. Okay, and I like to do, since this is audio, you don't really have to worry about node off and things like that. You just got to make sure that your grid's set properly. Now all you got to do, since this is highlighted here, is click apply. Boom, and it moved your markers to match up with these lines here. And when you can see that they're actually activated markers, they have these little blue things at the bottom that tell you that, hey, this marker is active. Okay, so this put that right on the beat here. Okay, now the thing you should be careful with is all these little things here. You have to really know, how the drums are played and where they're supposed to go, because you can really start messing up with these little parts here that aren't the actual snare hit, and you could put them in the wrong place. So I look at this and I go, okay, I'm going to stay on my 8th grid. So I see this one's a little early here. This is probably the kick here. So if I apply that there, it moves that over, and then you can do this here and apply, and that gets lined up. And you can see, you can gradually go slow here. If you're working in 8th grid, you can highlight these two here, and this middle line here won't be affected. So watch, let me hit apply. Okay. Now, if you're working in 16th grid, it's going to take this middle one here and make it pretty much evenly between these two right there. Okay. So that's basically how you use Elastic Audio involving drums. You can see that, it takes a while. When you get really good at it, you can figure out how to go through it fast and highlight bigger sections at a time, and use the quantize there. You can manually move markers too. If you just double click on this here, and then it makes it active. That's how you make it active. If you want to make it inactive, you just hit, I believe it's Alt. Yeah, Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac. It gives you a little hand, and you click it, and it makes it go away. Now, a neat little feature too, if you hold Shift down and you click a transient, it activates the one before it and one after. And this is nice because if you're moving a transient, it's going to, I'll show you an example here actually. If I move, make this one active here, and then I move it. So it moves everything before and after it like that, you can see. Okay, so let me undo that. But now that we did these ones here, and I have this one active before this one, and this one active after this one, you can move this one around, and then you have to worry about things moving after it. So again, that feature is if you just hold shift down and then click on a transient. Okay. So, and another thing you can do when you get really good at it is you can like highlight all your tom tracks. Like you can do more than one track at a time. Okay. Like if you have, like you want to do all your toms together, you can literally like, highlight like this and, really work close and check your transients. And, it goes a little bit faster. When you work at more than one track at a time, you got to pay closer attention, but you're getting that much more work done in in a shorter period of time. So that's basically how you use Elastic Audio. There's a few other things you can do with it, but that's mostly what you're going to want to use it for, to fix timing. And that's how you would use it on the drums. Okay, so this is Dan Spencer with ProToolsTutorials.org, and we'll see you next time.